tennis has always had a home in Potton, most notably at the Hollow, I think, where we had almost 2 decades of courts there, put in place by a number of volunteers, one of which is with us here today, Sue. Courts offered a great base for tennis, somewhere where the club grew, but ultimately they came to the end of their life, and we thought what a better time to possibly relocate, find a location that was maybe better suited to the upkeep of the courts in terms of environment, but also somewhere that offered better access to the community as a whole. And so with that in mind, this location became a possibility with the generosity of Potton Consolidated Charity and the Town Council. With their initial generosity of the land and 50,000, I think, in initial funding, we were able to put this project into action, and the committee set about finding further funding, whereby Tarmac, Wixham Tree Trust, the LTA, and we also had some settlements and grants given to us by the County Council of Acton, who was going to be here today. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to have made it. So with all that funding in place, we were able to set about building these courts with the help of FOSS, Surface Lux, and CIA Fire and Security. And this is what you see today. So thank you all for coming. I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge all the hard work of the committee and the tennis club volunteers, who without which this wouldn't have happened, and to be honest, without which most communities would fail to have a lot of facilities provided for them. I think it's always important to acknowledge when community groups come together and volunteer a lot of time, resources and skills to make things like this possible. One member who unfortunately isn't part of the committee anymore, but has played a key part of this club for, I think, over 2 decades nearly, is our former club secretary, Ian, who stood down last year once this project basically completed. As much as this is probably a jewel in the crown of your time with us, we also wanted to present you with a lifetime membership. But understanding that maybe with your knee condition, that might not be the most practical, so we thought something a bit more practical might be a short token of our appreciation.
Thank you very much.
Another member who played a big part in the club's history, both as a volunteer, a chairman and a president, and somebody that, from my brief experience of knowing, always left his passion on the court, one way or the other. It's Ken Oliver, who sadly can't be with us today. But in his place, Judy Oliver has agreed to attend and do the honours of cutting the ribbon for us. So I'd like to hand over to Judy for a short moment, who would like to say a few words.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll down so I don't lose track. As someone who no longer plays tennis, I used to, but no longer, it's a huge honour to be asked to represent my late husband Ken when opening the new Potton tennis courts. They've been a long time coming, and I know that Ken would have been so proud today after so many years of hard work that the tennis club committee have put into making it happen for tennis players of today, and even more importantly, tennis players of tomorrow. I'm sure that none of them will miss the moss, the flies and the aroma of the old courts. And it gives me great pleasure to declare the new Potton tennis courts officially open.
Got the pictures.
Look this way, Judith.
You need sharper scissors.
Thank you. It's been an honour. So
We'll
thank you back.
open the gates if you want to do a quick round of the courts.
Yeah.
There's no divots to press in or anything, but I think in the spirit of, we'll.
I'll just say one small thing. One thing that Toby alluded to, but these are a community asset. You don't have to be a member of the tennis club to play. So because of the generosity from the LTA who funded us with this access control gate, anyone can go online, book a court, pay for it, they can buy it with or without floodlights, depending on whether they want to play day or night. So these aren't just for the members, these are for the whole community, and that's one of the reasons that people like Potton Solidarity Charities and other charities that give money to us have given us the money.
Yeah, it's great. It's a nice bit of like a historic sport, but with a very modern touch. With this Wi-Fi enabled gate. But it's,
Demonstrate the access thing.
That's going to work, is it?
And the code is generated precisely for your individual booking. So that code won't work once we're finished here today. So the vandals seem to think that they can get the code and watch you put it in, and then stick it off.
save the
Well, you won't be able to get in. Yes, I've booked it. Because then once you don't report it, it doesn't work. So I tried to put my
Going first.
Well, I was going to mention
Makes you want to take up tennis, doesn't it, Joe?
Both not having a racket.
Twinkie.